Okay, we are somehow, against all odds, we are live. I don't know how long for, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but we're gonna go for as long as we can go, you know? It may not be long, it may not be great, but it will be a stream. Mrs. Biffle Chips, welcome, welcome. How are you doing today, Mr. Biffle Chips? Is my mic working? Can you hear me? Hello? It's me. You doing okay? Well, it was pretty quiet for most of the day, and then half an hour got ripped. They knew I was gonna go live soon, that's what it is. They're like, we're gonna ruin this woman's whole career. Or whatever the saying is, I don't fucking know. I'm like really out of it, guys. You're gonna have to work with me on this one. You're gonna have to work with me on this one. I've consumed great amounts of painkillers. Well within, like, prescribed and, you know, completely healthy dosages, but still. And I'm still on like a 6 out of 10 on the pain level chart thing. I have no idea what that was meant to be, Mr. Biff Chips. Oops, you hate your keyboard. Okay. I was like, is this like doing the whole chopping up a message thing? It's meant to be an emo? I mean, like a 3 or a 4 out of 10 is normal for me, so this is not that bad. It's still very uncomfortable, but like compared to what it was, you know, 3-4 hours ago before I consumed specific medications and the like. So 6 out of 10 is a lot better than like 9 out of 10, which is what I've been all night. So like it's a pretty good improvement. There's another car. Right, so, guys, ladies, gentlemen, everybody who identifies in between, we're live. We've got some energy right now, so we're just going to ride this until we die. Not literally, until the energy dies, I should say. And then I'm going to go and pass out. That's the plan. I've eaten. I've done all the things I need to do. Exactly. I genuinely was like, I don't think I'm going to stream today. And I've gained this window of clarity after eating and whatnot. Bait it up on something it's swelled up so you keep biting it again, so you're gonna accidentally bite it off. I did that when my mouth was numb. I can still feel it on the inside where it's permanently scarred and like slightly, and I re-bite it like at least once a month because the scar tissue is, you know, more proud than it should be. I re-bite it at least once a month, but like I bit it really hard when my mouth was numb and didn't realise. And the scar tissue obviously is bigger than the tissue that it replaced. So I re-bite it on a regular basis because it just gets in the way. So I completely empathise with you there, Mrs. Biffle Chips. And then like it swells, so then you like re-bite it over a short period of time until you like start consciously remembering not to do it. So annoying. I'm weirdly craving alcohol-free wine right now. Like, you think I'd crave actual alcohol when I'm in lots of pain, but no. My brain's like, the alcohol-free wine's pretty good, bro. I'm like, alright, bro. I'm not going to argue with you, I agree. Oh, I'm not leaving my webcam on because I look pretty awful. But I've got compression gloves now, which are meant to help with my condition. That's a good recommendation for the quality of the product, you guess. What is, sorry? Yeah, mitties, compression gloves. You're craving alcohol-free wine. I mean, in my opinion, it tastes nothing like wine. But I just really enjoy it as a beverage. Like, when I first tried it, I was like, this is terrible. Because I was going into it thinking it was going to taste like a wine with alcohol. But then when I just started, like, and then I had it a few days later, and I just appreciated it for the drink that it was, and I was like, this is really good. So like, if you want to go into it because you're craving wine but you don't want the alcohol, I wouldn't suggest it because it's nothing like wine. I mean, it's vaguely like wine because... No, how do I explain it? Like, you can taste the effects of fermentation, but not the alcohol. So you can taste like the esters and the amyls that are created by fermentation. But you don't taste the alcohol, obviously. So it's this really like fruity, almost tropical florally type thing. I kill you, welcome, welcome. How you doing? How's things? How's life? Tell me all about it. Jax. What? I don't understand. And technically, by the way, they're not alcohol-free wines, they're alcohol-removed wines. There is a legal difference, apparently. Listen, I can't drink, you know? So I've got to enjoy whatever drinks I enjoy. Fair enough. I know, but I'm talking about specifically in British law, alcohol removed wine is wine that's been fermented to wine percentage and had the alcohol removed. Alcohol free wine is generally like grape juice what has been desweetened. So they are different products. But like in general lexicon, we just say alcohol free, even though the correct term is alcohol removed wine. So like anybody, if you were like talking something in everyday life, you just say, oh, I had alcohol free wine last night. And everybody would understand exactly what you mean. There's no questions about it. It's only when governments get involved that we start having weird names for things, I find. Or weird distinctions in names for things. Very true, Mr. Bifflechit's very true. Well, no, because it's a legal difference, right? So, like, it's nothing to do with marketing. It's specifically talking about how it's made. So, an alcohol-free wine is a very different product to an alcohol-removed wine in Britain. That might not be the case in other countries because laws vary from country to country, as we all know. but in Britain they are different products. And like, basically no one makes alcohol-free wine because it's dreadful. It's just artificially flavored grape juice, essentially. But how are you doing today, I kill you? How are you doing today? Can I just call you I kill? Because saying I kill you makes me uncomfortable. Sure, awesome, I kill, awesome. You've been moving the whole day. Like moving where you live, kind of moving. Ah, okay, yeah. I found some pads for my tens machine as well. Well, sorting some things out. So much to do. Moving is like, I hate moving. I've moved quite a few times in my life and I hate it. Yeah, moving sucks. Like, somebody... I'm presuming this exists, right? I'm presuming this exists, but if not, somebody needs to make a service, and I think they do it in some Asian countries, where you just pay someone to move your house. You like, they come in and they see how your current house is laid out and things, and then they just like kind of replicate your style in the new space for you, and then over time you move around your furniture to exactly what you want. But that's like quite a common service in certain parts of Asia. I feel like it's not as common in the Western world, and maybe it should be, you know? Really expensive, right? Okay, then they need to make it affordable. You know, you go to work or you stay in a motel one weekend and you walk into your new house and it's all done for you. Everything's sorted. That's dreadful. Like, I know part of it's because Britain is such a small country, but like getting stuff delivered like that is usually pretty cheap in Britain. Like white goods and furniture and things. And a lot of places do it for free, it's just rolled into the price of buying the product. A lot of places like you'll buy a new sofa, or you'll buy like a new fridge or freezer and they'll either charge you a minimal fee or it'll just be, you know, they'll charge you like a minimal fee, like 20 quid or something, for fuel cost or whatever. and most of them will recycle your. If you're replacing like a fridge or a sofa or something, most places will recycle that for you, included in that price. You're from the Netherlands, so it's small as well. Yeah, but you're a lot less densely populated, right? Oof, Mr. Biffle chips. Oof. I always wondered how moving, on the most dense. Oh, wait, never mind. Listen, I'm on a lot of pain meds right now. I was, for some reason, thinking of, like, Sweden or something. I was thinking of, like, Sweden or something. But no, that's a very different country. I mean, most people think you're Germany. Well, I don't know if that's better or worse, you know? Yeah, true, true. Although most people, I mean, in Britain you don't say Deutsch, you know? You say German, which I guess makes it a pretty big distinction for us, but I imagine not all countries do that. Like, if you're saying you're English, you'd say something like, yo soy, what would it? Yo soy de Inglaterra. I know my pronunciation is dreadful, but I'm not even trying today, I'm too tired. So, England is Inglaterra, which is kind of similar, I guess, but yeah. Yeah, it's not going to be a long stream today, guys. I'm going to do maybe an hour. Maybe less. But we just got to do it for the stream streak, you know? I'll probably play some off stream, but I'm just wanting to, like, watch some sci-fi and vibe, you know? I recently got MGM subscription through Prime, so I've been watching Stargate again, and Stargate Atlantis, still one of my favorite sci-fi series. Stargate Atlantis and Star Trek Voyager. Nah, I don't take days off. I don't believe in that. Well, I mean, technically yes, but I'm feeling okay at the moment. I'm not feeling too bad at the moment. So how moved in are you, Ikil? How moved in are you? Like, what percent of moved in are you? Can you boil it down to a percentage? I mean, everything can be boiled down to a percentage if you really try, right? It's like the arbitrary, what out of 10 is your pain? And I always love that they say 10 is the worst pain you can ever feel. But if you have not felt the worst pain you can ever feel, then how do you know what the worst pain you can ever feel is? All the walls are good. That's fair, that's fair. You know, like, that seems like a very arbitrary... Like, are you meant to just imagine what the worst pain you could ever feel be? But I imagine that varies depending on your experience. You know, like, my idea of the worst pain you can ever be in would probably be different to, like, your idea. Almost, it would certainly be. Here, everything gets repainted before you move in, usually. Like, everything's painted nice. The one like you pay a security deposit for that. And then if you are willing to repaint the walls on your way out, you get that security deposit back. If you're not, then they keep the security deposit and use that to repaint the house. That's the way it works in Britain usually. Unless it's social housing. And then there's no security deposit and you get the house completely gutted and it's really annoying. The idea of having white walls, to me, is crazy. Like, I've never known anyone to have white walls. Outside of, like, maybe, like, hospitals or something. Metalish. That's fair, that's fair. But yeah, even in that situation, I've never known any... Like, our ceilings are white. I'm pointing to the ceiling, I've not got my webcam on. Our ceilings are generally white here. But apart from that, like, usually your walls are like magnolia. Which is like a light peach type colour. I don't... How do you describe magnolia? I have never seen pink magnolia. I have never seen magnolia paint called that is pink. I'm googling it there. Yeah, like magnolia is like an eggshell type colour. That's not even that. Here. Like pink. What the hell? What kind of magnolia have you guys got? Yeah, that's... Magnolia, the color is not the same as Magnolia, the plant. Okay? At least not in Britain. And why do we name things arbitrary names? I don't know. Magnolia is a color pigment. Kind of like terracotta color. I didn't even know it was named after a flower. Let me grab my snippity snip. Does it call? There you go, Mr. Biff Chips. I sent you a range of Magnolia paint. It's Magnolia. True. But yes, when we say Magnolia in Britain, that is the colour we are talking about. Oh. So I'm gonna put this link here that explains the Magnolia colour and where it comes from. It is a Wikipedia link because why not? Knowledge, I know, right? I love that the colour Magnolia is defined by a British standard. Also, it dates from the 1950s, calling the stone colour. I didn't even know Magnolia was a flower, right? I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I didn't even know it was a flower. Not real skill, just play RS3 casual. What div level do you think you should get? It depends. What is your aim with your divination level? Because realistically speaking, for invention, you should be aiming for 80. I would say you don't really need to be much higher than 80 for most things. You know, unlocking invention is really nice. I've still not actually done anything with invention. I know I'm an idiot. But I'm aware invention has many beautiful things. They're a bit too long to be easily grown though. That makes sense. Probably the same here. Well, I mean, eventually the aim would be to max, right? Like, if you're talking about the eventual, you know, you've been playing the game for 5 years or whatever, you know, like, your aim should be to get 99 in all skills. But, like, as a preliminary, do most of the things you want to do in-game right now. I'd say 80 is probably where you want to get to for divination. You're 87 now. Awesome, so you don't need to worry. Like, eventually, you know, getting to like 90 and eventually 99 should be on the cards. But I would think if you've got a lot of skills, you know, sitting around 50 or less, I wouldn't be dedicating time to getting div over, you know, 80. Unless there's a specific thing in the tech tree or whatever you want to call it that you want. There's a specific thing that's a higher level, like go for it. Other than that, you know, like 80 is probably fine. If all of your skills are like 80 or, you know, getting high divination is nice because there are perks to it, but I wouldn't say is overtly necessary. If that makes sense. I am a little bit off my face right now. I'm not gonna lie. On prescription medication only. I mean, if you can, go for it. Before you do any amount of like major gathering skills, I would hammer invention. If I'm being honest with you, before I went out and did any great amount of gathering skills, if I had any level of intelligence, I would hammer invention first. Because there are so many perks available for invention. I just realised... Right, Mrs. Bifflechips, I've got a question to ask you. When I send you a hex code for a colour, can you picture that colour in your head? Because usually I can these days, because I use hex colours a lot. So I can get a general idea in my head of what a hex code is going to look like. I still like to double check. Sorry if you don't like invention. I don't think anybody likes invention, you know? I'm not going to lie to you. Not usually very real use hex, that's for... But I just realised I sent you a hex code because my brain just instantly was like, yeah, it's around about this colour. And you're probably going to have to like type that into some program for you to know what colour it is. And that's even if your monitor is remotely colour accurate. Which it's probably not, because most are not, including mine. You looked up on Google. Ah, okay, okay. I deal with hex codes more than RGB these days. But I really like that colour. Let me just... I don't think next level colour goodness to have approximately double price. Yeah, like my monitor is relatively colour accurate because it's an IPS display and it's not overdriven. But like, it's not really colour accurate, you know. Like, it's certainly more colour accurate than my old two monitors. I can tell that by a massive margin. But if I'm double checking colours, I'll always check on my phone because OLED and Sony displays are very well calibrated on their phones. I imagine other phone makers are as well. I don't know much because I've owned mostly Sony phones in my life. Although I think I'm going to move away from Sony. They've just... one of the old advantages of Sony phones was like they were relatively well priced for what they were, but that's not the case anymore. And like there are little niggling errors and issues with Sony phones that I deal with by modifying the OS on it and the launcher and things. But like if I'm paying the same price of any other flagship, I'm not gonna want something that I have to tinker with to work properly. You know, I enjoy tinkering, don't get me wrong. And I especially enjoy tinkering when it can save me money. You know, there's reasons why I like running at Linux where I can, because it saves me those license fees. But like, if Sony's planning to charge the same as other flagships for their devices, then you see, I have a lot of time. Like, the whole thing is how much you value your time, right? And like, if you work a job, you're probably paid minimum like 10 to 15 pounds an hour, or the equivalent in your local currency, unless you live in America and then you fucked, right? But apart from that, like working almost any job, so like you factor in if something's going to take you 20 hours or 50 hours to get just right, that's a lot of money. But if you're like me and you don't work and you have a lot of free time and not a lot of money, your time isn't worth as much. Before or after taxes? Before. I was talking like general minimum wage pre-tax. You know? Like minimum wage is like £11 in Britain now for over 25s or whatever. I don't know, I've not checked in a while. Almost like I said. No, but that's what I'm saying to you, right? It's like if you work a full-time job and you sleep a normal amount of time, you don't have that much free time left, right? So like you value that time significantly more than somebody like me who outside of sleeping I have no commitment. Saved, welcome, welcome, how you doing, how's things, how's life, tell me all about it. You know, like I have no real life. Like, I choose to stream every day, but I don't have to. And I'm not streaming 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. So I have a lot more time and a lot less money, so I'm willing to put significantly more time into something if it will save me money, right? Than somebody who works potentially 40 or 50 hours a week. And it also depends if you enjoy it, right? Like, if you enjoy tinkering and playing with things, adjusting things and whatnot, then so I don't really have much time, ironically, to play much outside of RS3. I stream City Skyline sometimes. I don't play many games when I'm not streaming anymore, just simply because I've got so much to do. So like City Skylines and mostly RS is what I play these days because, you know, I need to sleep 12 hours a day because of my health condition. And then I'm streaming like, you know, anywhere from 3 to 6 hours a day, so it doesn't leave me much free time. And I like to tinker, I take enjoyment from that. Which is another reason why I don't value it the same as just putting in effort for no reason. Is I actively enjoy tinkering, it's a hobby, it's an interest. It brings me happiness and joy. You wish you'd be able to sleep 12 hours. Oh, I promise you, you don't. Sleeping once for 12 hours is kind of nice. Right? Sleeping once for 12 hours is kind of nice. But when it becomes a, you know, 10 to 12 hours sleep most nights, and it's not because of my specific condition, I'm in pain at night, so I can't sleep until I'm truly exhausted. So, you know, I generally go to sleep like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. and wake up, you know, like 1 p.m. or something like that, whatever the maths work out. And sometimes it's worse than that. So, like, realistically speaking, you know, being able to is nice. Being forced to is less nice. Rip saved. I used to be like that. I used to sleep like 4 hours a night every night, and I was happy with that. I functioned on that well. I had so much time, it was amazing. I got so much done back in the day. You know? It was really good because I had, you know, something like 18 to 20 hours a day. Like, it's how I managed to go to uni and work a full-time job. Is because I just needed so little sleep. But like, as like my ADHD kind of settled down and my other conditions got worse as I got older, which is to be expected with those conditions, it kind of flipped. Let's just hope that it's not been hacked, Dave. You've been told you have ADHD with ADD. You can't have both. They are the same condition except one has hyperactivity and one doesn't. But they are the same condition. I mean, you can be diagnosed with both, but it's stupid and you shouldn't be. Because it doesn't make any sense. So I'm not saying you can't be diagnosed with both. I found being diagnosed with both is stupid. Just give me the friggin' blessing. This, there we go. Because they are essentially the same condition, except with separately different presenting symptoms. Which is why, although some people are diagnosed with both, I don't agree with it because they are the same condition. I don't agree with that. I know lots of people with ADHD who can focus. It depends how much you can focus on what. You know, you find something you enjoy or passionate about, you can focus on it all day long, baby. I have not heard of that, and that's not a thing in Britain. I'm not saying it's not a thing where you live. Like, we diagnose things differently. Hyperfixation, very true, my friend, very true. I am not saying... you know, like, I know in Britain that's not a thing, right? I know in Britain that is not a thing. I have heard it being diagnosed in a few other situations. I don't agree with it because they are the same condition. They are just slightly different in presentation. So to say you have that with that is just silly, you know? It's like saying you've got Asperger's and autism. You know? Asperger's is a form of autism. We don't generally use the term Asperger's anymore, by the way. Although I hate level 1, level 2, and level 3 autism. I think that's even more depersonalized than saying like Asperger's, but hey, it's what it is. But yeah, I'm not saying, you know, that Britain always gets it right. Well, it's just ADD. So ADD is people who struggle to concentrate. And ADHD is people who struggle to concentrate and have periods of hyperactivity. It's not saying you can never concentrate. There is no one in the world who will tell you that someone with ADHD can never concentrate. I've got ADHD, I'm concentrating on 3 games right now in chat. You can concentrate, especially with medication. It just is more difficult to concentrate. The only difference between ADD and ADHD is if you present with hyperactive periods or not. Yeah, they do like to change things. I don't know what that means, I kill. I don't know what that means, but have fun, enjoy. No worries, I'll be heading off very soon. Myself. I did say I'd do better now. Don't make it too late. I'll be heading off very soon. How long's left of what I'm watching? So I've got like 9 minutes left of what I'm watching, so I think I'm going to stream for that and then end stream. No worries, no worries. Have a good night, my friend. I hope you sleep well. And then hopefully I'll see you again in stream at some point in the future. Right guys, I'm going to end stream right now because I need the back room. So thank you all for hanging out. It's very much appreciated. Hopefully I feel better in the morning. Have a good day, night, morning, afternoon or evening. Wherever you're exercising a video on YouTube, guys, look after yourselves, stay safe, and last but not